Here we are. We're recording. This is episode
That's true.
8. I I'm not totally sure, and as always, we have done no preparation for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be episode 8. And one thing I can tell you from our 8 episode run, Taco, is that we should not talk about the government
Do people not like that, or is the algorithm not like that?
because the algorithm doesn't like it. We get shadow banned so bad. But it does tell me that there are 30 people who actively go and search for what we're doing, right? There are 30 people out there who are committed enough to what we're doing that go out and search that. And so, to those 30 people, I would like to say, we appreciate you.
Yeah, there are people in my life who watch it and who send me messages with updates on things that they liked about it. And so, honestly, and I don't know what if I just didn't get enough hugs when I was a kid, but like if one person messages me and it's like, "Hey, that was a great show," that's enough just for me to keep doing shows forever. Like I don't need a million fans for this thing. Just one
Yeah.
person to tell me I'm pretty, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, yeah, let's keep doing this thing."
Yeah. I get a similar thing. My parents watch this. Like my wife doesn't, but my parents do, and they so they my mum, and bless her, she's going to listen to this, right? My mum sends me a video the other day, and she goes, "Is this Taco in this video?" And I was like, "What?" And so I look at it, and it's an advert for Cadbury's around Easter that was on the UK TV, right? And this guy, this this guy does not look anything like you. And I was like, and also he's British, has a British accent, and oh, I had a good, I like dry heaved laughing for a good 10 minutes, um, and then I called my mum, and we had a very funny conversation about it. But I was like, are you even watching Taka? Like Taka doesn't. I mean, he looked ever so slightly like
He
you,
had glasses.
like like all other, yeah, middle aged
We all
white
look
guys.
exactly the same. I get it.
Oh, but that was funny. But yeah, my parents listened to this, which I just didn't really expect them to care about that, like this bit of my life, right? Like there's other cool stuff that I'm doing, and they're interested in that, I think. But I guess this is the only thing I
Huh.
put out mostly
That's
on the
wow.
internet.
Good for nice to meet you guys
Oh,
virtually. That's amazing. Thank you for supporting. Yeah,
nice
most of my
supportive
family
parents.
doesn't know
That's what we like.
that I do this or that I do anything, or they don't understand. They
You
don't
exist.
understand my what my jobs have been. I'm currently this is my job right now, and you can see I'm taking it very seriously. We
Yes.
hosted Easter over the weekend, and my 13-year-old nephew said he had seen a podcast, and he couldn't confirm if it was this one or not, but he saw me on a thing, and he was very impressed that like I'm on the internet, is which was high praise for
Oh.
if you're 13. That's what is that Gen Alpha? They're so much further along in all the socials and all this stuff. Instead of being impressed by me on the internet, feels pretty good. Hmm.
Yeah, that is good. We do get some reach actually on like, I know that like Twitter is where
Yeah.
you and I hang out, but we do have a TikTok, and it gets views, right? And then our YouTube shorts get views. One of our TikToks went to 3,000 the
Were
other
we
day.
talking about Waffle House?
No, we were talking about rage
Oh,
quitting games.
perfect.
But we have 1,300 likes. I mean, this is the beginning of a fully fledged 360 media brand. Um, and I, for one, am
I
very, very
love that.
excited
And
about that.
episode 8, you mentioned that we don't prepare for these. This is I think, the least prepared I've been for all the shows I don't prepare for. At some point, maybe I should start preparing? Question mark? Or no? Is that part of the charm of the show?
I I don't know. I feel like it's a fundamental part because do you know what? I think when we're having these conversations, I sense like long pauses, and it feels a bit like, oh, we're trying to find our way to find something funny to say. But then I watch it back and I'm like, oh yeah, this is just two people chatting. Like it feels a lot more natural when you watch it back than like when you're actually recording it, which I think is
I've
interesting.
never watched it back. Right.
Well, I have to because I edit it, but and I barely do that, right? Like I have an AI
Yeah,
that does most of
I'm
the
too
edit
afraid
for
I'll
me.
hate the show, and then I won't want to keep doing it. It's like, what am I doing? What is that? Hutch can do better than this. I'm out. I'm dropping out.
I know we talk about this now every week, but I'm enjoying your weekly sessions with Bucks. Um, Although I fear that because she's very
Mm,
serious, very like much more serious than the Bucks that I used to know, right? Like there's she's talking about deeper things, right? It's not games anymore that she's dealing with. It's like the future of personal liberties, and I think she takes that very seriously, which I respect. But also, then I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, put taco in there, put a bit of levity in there. But you're answering those questions super seriously. And then I'm like, oh, I'm actually learning something now, and I don't know if this is
yeah,
what I signed up for.
it's a nice balance for me doing this and then doing the space with her where it is like she's asking legitimate questions about things that in my regular life I don't discuss generally. And I think it's nice that I bring a little bit of levity. I think she needs that, and I think she knows it. And I'm glad I can answer some of her questions
Mm.
seriously and not just talk about eating dinosaurs.
Does she tell you what eating dinosaurs was funny? Does she tell you what she's going to ask you before you do the thing? Does she give you
She
like,
does,
oh, this is
yeah,
what these are the talking points I'm going to hit? I, okay, good. So because there I am being like, did Taco just know that and like just on the spot? Because I'd be there with like ChatGPT being like,
yeah.
what the
I
fuck
think
is
she needs to
singularity? Like, oh my god.
prepare in her mind. She needs to give me the stuff to make sure that we're on the same page about it. I I think it would be
Mm,
more fun to do it like this and have her ask me questions about the singularity and dead internet theory and things. And if there is one out of the 4 or 5 topics I don't know anything about, could I spin it in a way that is funny, or could I make sense of it? Like just, oh, I don't know what that is, but maybe I could suss out what it is and have a legitimate answer. I think that would also be good. I'm happy to lean into
mm,
not knowing about things,
mm,
and I'm not the kind of person who will pretend I know about things if I don't. If I don't know about it, I'm happy to say I'm totally ignorant. I think that's part
mm,
of why
mm,
people
mm.
enjoy my content because I'm not, guys, I don't know anything. I don't, what am I
You're
doing?
you're comfortable in yourself. Like, there was a time in my life where I went through a period of being like, oh no, I need to know stuff, and I felt weird when I didn't. But like, I think you just hit enough situations where you're just like, oh yeah, I don't know anything about this. And also that in your youth, you're like, I don't know anything about this, but now I feel like I
Yeah.
want to, and I'm going to go and learn. But then you get to a point where you're like, I don't have the time to learn this. This is a whole other thing that I could go, a rabbit hole that I could go down, and I don't have the time, and I don't want to, and
Yeah.
I'm
And I
happy with
think
that. I'm at peace.
there's a quality about knowing what you don't know. And I think there's some people who don't necessarily, they think they
Mm,
know things, but they don't actually know the thing. And I'm really comfortable in not knowing the things I don't know.
mm. Yeah, me too. Me too. What do you know, Taco? What's your if you had to go on? I don't know what it's called over there, but there's a TV show where you have a specialist subject. What's your specialist
I
subject?
know this is a non-answer. I think my specialty is not having a specialty. I think over the course of my life and career, I've done a lot of different things part way enough. So I think I'm pretty good at a lot of stuff. And I don't know that I'd say I'm expert at any particular thing, but all those little skills all come together to form enough, if that makes sense. Because I don't know. I feel like you have to go on the show and be an expert on
Mm.
something. That's hard, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure that I have a something that I know enough about. Because the thing that and very much like you, the thing that I really enjoy is going into a new area and being like, oh, I get how this works because it's like this other
Yeah.
thing that I have done. And sort of, oh, I can
Mm-hmm.
apply this knowledge. Where does it fit? Where doesn't it? I think that that's part of the joys of life. So you're never walking in to a situation like a
Yeah.
completely new situation. Everything has these relatable things, but yeah, but I think that again, that probably matches your personality, being comfortable in yourself, and being able to
Yeah. I'm
wander into
confident
these
I'll be able to
situations.
figure it out. And if there's a thing I don't know, something about it will be relatable enough that I'll be able to get, you know, 60 or 80% of the way there. Or not, and that's also okay.
Mm, 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 mm. Have you been getting any better off the grid? Or been
I
playing any more Web3
um,
games?
I have been. I have not played off the grid since we discussed it last time. Um, Maybe I'll jump back in. I just feel like I'm going to take a little break from it right now and do something different. I've been playing a game. Let me find this one. The Lost Glitches, which is a card game where
Okay.
you have a pack of cards and you play um, different cards at a time. It's a card battler, uh, which I think is kind of fun. I really like the art, and so I've been checking that out. It'll take me a bit,
Mm,
I think, to master it, and you unlock certain cards at a time. And so I joined their Discord, and there's guys in there who have clearly been playing it for a long time. They have a lot of really great cards. I signed up for a tournament because why wouldn't I? And I'm probably not going to
okay.
win it, but it's fun to play, right?
I think so. I think you're delving into an interesting bit of the world. I'm really keen to see because obviously we're at the very beginning of the
Mm-hmm.
bull run, if you ask Twitter. And so I'm really interested to see how the space opens up because I think Web3 gaming is a really good use case when it comes to blockchain and it comes to NFTs. But I imagine there are going to be lots of people that rush in and try and ride the wave. And so I think it's important to have knowledgeable Web3 influencers like you, Taco, specifically, here to just talk about these things. That having had the view of the last cycle, there's going to be a load of new people who come in and want to get swept up in it, and you can be the cool uncle that's like, no, kids, that's not a cool game. This is a cool game.
Right.
Uncle Taco
Because the
knows.
kids, they're very interested in knowing what that old guy has to say about these games. I still really like, I think you're right. Now, I think games are the best case scenario for, it's the thing that makes the most sense in blockchain Web3. Um, and I'm
Mm,
struggling to find a lot of games that I really connect with and make sense. There's a lot of games that are like, oh, this isn't, if it wouldn't be a good game in Web 2, it's not going to be a good game in Web 3. And there's a lot of that. We're like, I don't want to play this game. I'm earning token if I own stuff. And that's, I mean, it sounds so obvious, but I don't, there's a lot of games here that are like, it's not good. So no one's going to play it. Like, it doesn't matter what your tokenomics
mm,
are.
yeah. Well, my fear is that that isn't going to matter during the bull run. It matters after the bull run, right? Because the games that will survive long term and have value are the good ones. But like, I played some terrible Web3 games last bull run, and some of them I made a fair bit of money from. Like, it's an interesting world. But I was in that
Mm.
first cycle. I'm definitely a lot more a lot more wise, I think, and a lot more bald as a result of my wisdom. That's directly
Is that how
correlated,
we can
I've
measure
been told.
wisdom?
And
I love that.
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah, I think that's if you've got a full head of
Yeah.
hair.
I do not.
Um,
I'm just chock full of wisdom, I guess.
Yeah, I've noticed my beard going grey as well, just
Yeah.
here. I know you're
Oh,
deep in the
I'm
old
heavy
salt and
into
pepper,
it, but I,
but
I think it makes me look sophisticated.
yes, yes, you look. I mean, put you in a suit, and you are a Christian Grey.
Which is just all I ever wanted. And yet I don't wear suits. I order custom baseball jerseys. Shout out, Short Fuse.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, tell us
Yeah,
a short fuse one.
look at me.
Yeah. Is that part of, do you have a merch store that you've put that on to buy, or did they
No,
do
I
that and
just
you bought it
ordered
from
it
them?
as a one-off from the place I get custom jerseys from. I can't wait for them to make a merch store.
That's
No
cool.
one is prioritizing their merch stores, and I
Yeah.
think it's a huge mistake. Some of these brands, like I'm heavy into the Good Vibes Club, which is screaming for a merch store.
Hmm.
They could do so much with it, and they haven't. And it drives me crazy because it's a great profit center. It gets your brand out there. There's so many cool things they could do with it. It's like, guys, come on.
All right, I'm gonna take the hint, Taco. I'm gonna get our merch
Well,
store
I
up
mean, Good Vibes
this
Club has
week.
a community of thousands and thousands of people right now. We have a community of,
No, no, don't backtrack now. Don't backtrack
yeah.
now. I take your criticism. I
I would
appreciate that.
love I
I've
would
been letting
love
us
some
down in
40
that
year old
department.
Degens merch. I'd rather order it from an official store than eventually have to just, because if not, it's going to be a baseball jersey. Like that is, and you don't want that. That
Yeah,
doesn't,
yeah. I mean, the baseball jersey's cool. Like,
I like them.
I don't hate that. I've never worn a baseball isn't a
Right.
thing in the UK, right? So I've
Yeah.
never worn
Yeah.
a baseball
Oh,
jersey, but
speaking of
it
sports, I
looks
did have a
cool.
question for you. I know that you're an authority on British sports.
Hmm.
So we had the NFL draft last night. And in all of our sports, we have a draft.
Hmm.
Do they have drafts for things like
That's where it's
That's
on
exactly
tap
right.
rather than
For
from a
like the
bottle, right?
for like football over there, like the Premier League. Well, I don't know if they're drafting into the Premier, the lower, the Champions League or whatnot, or cricket. Like, is there a draft for those sports where they get the players, or is everybody a free agent and you sign them when they're 11 and that's how it goes?
No, there is a transfer window, it's called, but it's not like I'm. It sounds like you're talking about like one evening where everyone's like, "Oh, this is what we got." Blah, blah. There's like several months in between the things where that it's a transfer window where people move
I'm
teams.
talking about if
Is that
you're
what you're talking about? I'm not totally sure. I'm still not totally sure
a
what a draft
draft
is.
is. So last night was the NFL draft for football, our American football, and so to be on a well,
So it's
it's
just
over
one
3 nights,
night
but yeah,
that it happens.
there's 7 different rounds. But you generally like you'll play in college, and then you'll say, okay, I want to play in the NFL. And so in the draft, the teams choose which of those players are going to come play on their team. And if you don't get chosen in the draft, you could sign as a free agent, but that's how you get to the league. And so in soccer and football, let's say I'm a really good player, I'm in high school, and I'm great. How do I join a professional club?
I hear what you're saying. So we don't have a college or university system that feeds the football league like that. But each of the major teams have like junior teams. So those will be like if you're somebody who is good, you will get scouts come from Liverpool's junior team and Manchester's junior team and blah blah blah, and then you will be moved into one of those, and generally then you will go on and play for that team until such time as you become a free, like there's certain contractual terms, etc etc. But that's not by that, like probably only 20 or 30% of the people who become Premier League players go through that route. There are just working your way up through some of the other leagues, like playing for different teams. Just get on any team that you can, and then people will notice you and you start moving up. That's kind of the those are the two ways into the thingamajig. But yeah, the concept of a
Hmm.
draft is alien to me.
Well, there you go.
But I guess it makes sense if you're like, because all your college football is like a
Hmm.
big thing out there, right? And presumably it's a big thing because it feeds.
Yeah.
the
Well,
major
same thing.
leagues like
Well,
that.
basketball's a little different, but you still need to enter the draft. So even European basketball players enter the NBA draft to then get drafted into the league to join the team. You can't just say, like, if you're a great British basketball player, you can't just say, I'm going to go sign with the Celtics. It doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm.
Right, interesting. Well, that is how it works in the UK. You can just, if I'm Liverpool and there's some amazing teenager who's coming up and they play for
Mm-hmm.
Aldershot Town, right? You can go and be like, "Cool, you're awesome. Like, do you have a contract with Aldershot? Yes, then we'll buy you out. If not, then
I
you're
like
you're
that.
coming with
So
us."
you could be a great teenager and multiple teams could
That's
be
the way it
coming to
goes.
say, hey, we want you on our squad. Unless you're being bought out, that would be with the team.
Yeah,
Okay. Look at that. Sports talk. DGen
yeah.
sports talk.
Now, I think I managed to at least style out the concept that I know anything about football. But I have to admit that I'm not. I don't keep up. I don't have a team. I don't keep up with it. If somebody asks me, I'll say that I support Brighton or Aldershot Town. Those are funny ones to say. But yeah, I don't. I have no interest in football.
Yeah, are you allowed to say that?
I know it's a massive cultural thing. Yeah, well, this is a safe space.
Like
Let's not
good
tell
good things
anybody.
no one's watching.
But well, we haven't talked about the government
No,
yet,
so we
so
can't
people
talk
might
about
watch
the
this one.
government. Are we allowed to talk about the papal conclave?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think that's fair game. Are you throwing your hat in
I
the ring? Is that what's going
I
on?
can't because I'm not Catholic. But any Catholic, baptized Catholic man is eligible to be the Pope, which they haven't elected non-cardinal Pope in like 700 years. But I love the idea that it's possible if there's just one really good Catholic guy, they could all get together and say, hey, it's that guy. We want him to be the new Pope. It's nice that it's open
Mm.
for everybody. So if you're a Catholic man, you can, like, there's that little piece that's like, I could be the Pope.
Now, I would consider myself
Mm-hmm.
atheist in the sense that I'm a positional on theology, which is the classic term for atheist. I think everybody who hears atheist now goes, "Oh, he believes there isn't a God," but that's not exactly what that means. But I was, if I remember correctly, I was a baptized Catholic. So your boy might throw his hat in the ring. I'll have to go on their website and see how you do that. And depending on
Yeah.
how long that form is, like if this is a type form with like 10 screens, ugh, I'm out, right? But give me a quick
Yeah.
like name, address,
Yeah. If,
desired
yeah.
position.
If you
I'll
have to
send my
upload your
CV. Like I'll
resume,
do
but
that.
then also write in what's on your resume, I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not worth
yeah.
being
I'm
the
out.
Pope at
I'm
that
out. I'm
point.
out. Yeah.
Uh, I, I love the
No.
pageantry
No.
of the conclave and how 600 years ago, like there wasn't a pope for 3 years because they just couldn't all get together and elect one. And so they decide, okay, from now on, we're locking everybody in this room until you figure it out, like like your children. And if you're over 80, you're not allowed to vote because they're like there's no way you're of your right mind, which is great. Like I feel like we do a bad job here in the U.S. if we have some. We're not supposed to talk about politics. We have some people who are maybe maybe a little
I
old
know
and
where
that
you're going. And yes, that
and
is
they're like we're not they don't mess around. Like if you're 80, you
yeah,
don't even get a vote. It's like, oh, that's wild, but good for them
yeah,
for knowing what they want.
yeah. They're 2 years away from just sort of like releasing you into the wild and letting you fend for
Yeah,
yourself until
and
the end of
electing
days.
popes, I was reading like the sweet spot is like you're in your 70s, so you're maybe going to be pope for 8, 10 years, which is great. But they don't want popes to be a pope for like a whole generation, like a 30-year pope, which is like that's also kind of wow. Like
Mm,
70 is like the ideal pope age, which maybe feels right. I don't think I would want to see it like a young
yeah.
pope.
Do you think? I mean, I honestly couldn't care less about about the
I could
Pope.
I
I don't
could
know who's
care
the
less
Pope.
about the Pope. I just love the
But are you?
process of choosing a Pope.
I get you, and I love the fact that they also then, like, as soon as they're chosen, they go on a world tour. So, are you saying that if the Pope came to your bit of the states, you'd go and look
No,
see
popes
him in his
have
Pope
come to
mobile?
my part of the states, and I have not gone. I'm not interested in it. I don't. I
Mm,
don't think of the Pope as a
mm,
celebrity. I don't really follow Catholicism. I just
mm,
the conclave just sounds awesome. It's just fun. I just they
mm.
ca- the
Yeah,
Catholics do pageantry really well, and I value that.
yeah. It's certainly fun to
Yeah.
watch from afar. I mean that sort of happens in a non-religious sense around sports teams, right? Like being I don't know what the but you could be the commissioner of the league, right? That is a phrase that I've heard from films. I don't know what it relates to. I don't know who that is, but the commissioner of a league, I know that's important. And don't tell me that it's not Taco. I can see your face. You're smiling because
Sure, of
you know what
course.
the commissioner of the league is. No, but I don't. Can you explain
The
it to me?
commissioner of the league, it's basically just the president of the league. They just run they're the operations manager of a league. They make sure everything is running smoothly, essentially. They decide like what the rules are. Um, they generally work for the team owners just to manage the whole thing.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Cool. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. I think I would have guessed that if I'd have been asked, but instead I brought it up in a joke, and I thought it was
Now you
very
know.
funny.
Look at us go. Hey, I did a we don't I know we don't really talk about Web3 stuff anymore on this podcast. I did a very DGen thing this week, which is very in line with how I
Okay.
do Web3. Uh, so this week,
Okay.
so
Confess your sins to me,
so I've
Taco.
been, so it's been
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are we the popes of
oh
Web3?
yeah, co-pope,
Because we're the elder, we've been
yeah,
through a couple of cycles. How do we become Web3 popes? Sorry, and also
yeah. It has
confess
been
unto me
one
your
week since
sins,
my
Taco.
last DGen confession. Uh, so uh, I don't. You're familiar with the Taco Player One, who is has a presence in Web3,
Yes.
um, that's deeper than mine. He's an actual.
Yeah.
He's I don't. He is a DGen, but actually knows everything. So he's less of a DGen because he's too knowledgeable.
Mm,
He
mm.
invited me.
He's very
He is funny.
funny
He's
though
a
as
super
well.
great guy. When I see him at conferences, we hang out. I'm much better than him at Mario Kart, but he's better than me at everything else. And so all of my social handles
Strange
are
flex, but okay, I'll
at
take it.
other taco because I'm the other taco. We're both tacos in the space. He's the taco. I'm fine with that. He deserves it. He invited me to an X thread group, which I was paying a little bit of attention to, but I didn't really know what
Mm,
the group was. And then 2 days ago, he sends me a message with a link to buy some stuff and said, "Hey, go mint one or two of these." And I did it I didn't need to look it
okay.
up. I didn't need to know what the thing was that I was getting. I just know that he's smarter than me. And if he tells me to buy a thing, I'm just going to go buy it. And I did.
You are begging to be scammed. Saying this on the internet,
But
begging to be scammed.
there are so few
But what
people
did
who
you buy?
that's true of. And I know it's him because he sent me a private message. RNG
Mm,
Crypto is another one who has
mm,
told me go buy this stuff, and
mm.
I have bought the stuff. And I actually sent him the same link, and he got this thing also. Las Vegas Lance has said, "Hey, this is the thing you might be interested in." And it's not for him. That means do your own research, go look at it. If it's the right fit, do
Mm.
it. But for me, it's like, oh, if Las Vegas Lance is doing, I'm gonna do it too. Yeah, here we go. Click. Uh, yeah, and so this what I minted was uh, AI agents released by Think. If you go to at Think Agents, it's an agent bundle.
Oh, you know, RNG sent. He said, "Are you in on this? Like, are you getting into this?" And I was like, "I don't even know what that is," because when people send me stuff, I'm so jaded. I'm like, "Ugh, not another thing." But maybe I should start listening
I,
to RNG more. I mean, he says some very sensible things. I think he's a very smart chap and a lot of fun to hang out with in the DMs. But I didn't act upon this. But is it? Tell me
it
what it
looks
is. Does
really
it look cool?
cool. And I
What's the
went to, they
vibe?
had a space with the launch, and the founders seemed super knowledgeable. And on the day of, it was a 24-hour mint
Hmm.
cycle. You could mint for 24 hours. They extended it because they ended up doing a partnership with Ape Chain. So they're bringing those guys in, which I think is pretty great. But the mint is closed now. I think they minted like
Hmm.
2,000 of the agents, which are, and they're minted as NFT. So you can, if you want to go sell it on secondary, you can, or wait, and they're going to have a token. And so you'll get some token allocation because you own one, blah, 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 something. Yeah. But he is someone who, he knows what he's talking about. He does the research. And so it's like a broker saying this is where you should put your money. Like I just trust him, even though, the market doesn't always agree.
Yeah, and there's no recourse like there is with a
Right.
broker.
Right. And he does say do your own research. He isn't, he's never just like, hey, go buy this thing real quick. Like he does the right thing. He's like, here's the thing that I'm buying. This is why I'm buying it. And he's really great about, I asked him some of this stuff, like, I don't, what are these words? Like you're saying this thing and I don't know what you're talking about. And he'll walk me through what the thing is he's
Mm.
talking about, which is also really great. Yeah.
Okay, I have heard
Mm-hmm.
your DGen confessional, and my advice to you, child, is say 10 Hail Bettys and do some charity work, and all your sins are absolved.
I have to do, is there, okay. Yeah. You know what? I should be doing more charity work. You're absolutely right.
I mean, I wasn't coming for you in that sense. Like, I was trying to throw it in just because I wanted to make the Betty joke. I thought of that. And if you watch it back, you'll see me as you're talking smile and start going, mm-mm, because I thought of that. I was like, that's a good joke. I'm going to
That
do
is
that.
that.
And then I was like, it can't just be 10 Hail Bettys.
Yeah,
I've got to
that
say something
was
else.
funny. But then you told me to do charity work, and then I had an inner crisis, which you'll see in the playback of like, oh, and I immediately, there was a pause where I thought about it and then had to rethink about it because my initial instinct was, how do I get out of doing this charity work that you just made up as part of your initial joke? But then pivoted to, no, you know what? I should probably be doing more charity work. And so, yeah, that was a roller coaster for
I
me, Hutch.
mean, I'm exhausted. We emotionally we went all
Definitely.
over the map there. Um, so what do these AI agents do? I'm going to Google them now. Think agent.
I'm not going to do this project justice because I just bought them and I haven't done enough of a deep dive, but it sounds like they can do a lot of different things. This is very vague. Um, I don't know.
Is it
It's
thinkagents.ai?
just Think Agents at Think Agents on X.
Oh, on X. Sorry, at think agents.
But yes, it's thinkagents.ai on the actual internet.
I see it. Let me look at their
Yeah,
website now.
professional agents, patent protection from trolls, own your experience, seamless interoperability. It's an open protocol for AI agents you can
Interesting.
own, evolve, and personalize. I'm going to figure it out.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I know what
Yeah.
all those words mean, but in that particular, I'm like, is it fuzzles but without the art? Like the kind of that chats to you. It's an
I
agent
think
that
these are
talks. Like,
a lot
are other
more
people using
robust. I think
agents?
these guys will do a lot of things. Like this feels like the level of like we're starting to get to a place where we're taking over the world. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. This is, I
Skynet,
think, more akin
Skynet
to
stuff.
Skynet.
Oh, I see. And so in the world of Skynet, you are actually the kings of the world now, the
Initially, but
owners of
we're
this
also the first
project.
ones to go when Skynet decides it's time for us to go.
What chain are they on?
Uh, well, I
Sorry, I'm not Bucks. I
no,
didn't pre-warn you
so
that
I'm
I
thinking
was going to
backwards. I
ask.
bought it on Magic Eden because they partnered with Magic Eden, and I paid with ETH, and so ETH. But they're partnering with Ape Chain, and so are they going to be on Ape Chain?
Nice.
I don't know. Probably they'd have to be, or are they chain agnostic because they're AI agents? I think ultimately they're going to be chain agnostic. Question mark.
Okay, but how much
Well,
are they
you
going
can't
for
get
as well?
one now. You have to
Magic
wait till
Eden.
they're.
So no
I
one's
don't
put
think
them
they've
on
opened it
sale
up to
yet.
secondary sales. I think it was around $450.
Think
I think to
eight.
mint initially. It's
Oh,
not
okay, that's not
crazy.
crazy.
No.
Yeah, I can't see it coming up. And now I've lost you. Where are you? There you are. Okay. That was at
Yeah.
least
So
10 minutes of me
this
just
isn't the
googling
advice for
stuff.
people to buy
So
into it because I don't think you can until they are released on secondary. And I don't know if it's are they just going to be the 2000 agents they just minted? Are they going to reopen it at some point? I'm sure they will. This is probably like the Genesis collection, and then down the line they'll release more agents that aren't the Genesis
mm,
collection. Maybe. Again, I didn't do enough
mm, mm,
research.
mm.
I just listened to Taco, who said, "Go mint this thing," because that's what I'm a DGen. That's what I do.
It feels like he is a great salesman for these projects. But I mean, the website looks good. You know, better than 99% of the websites in Web3.
Yeah,
And there's pictures of the team.
yeah. And on
That
the
in
space,
itself
they were talking
is
about like
decent.
what they had done historically, and they've come from real projects. It's not just a bunch of randos who started an AI agent company. Like they present as very legitimate and connected in the space, which
Mm,
is great.
mm. Super, super. Super. All right. Well, I think that brings us to time. Um, Maybe I won't submit my application to be Pope. Maybe instead we should crown ourselves the popes of
Mhm.
Web3. And I think we've got a wonderful thumbnail title
That
for our
actually
video.
sounds like a pretty good PFP collection. Also, I know we said we weren't going to make NFTs based on this, but
Yeah.
you know, the popes, Degen popes, is a
DGen
thing I would
popes.
buy.
Good. Well, if somebody wants to do the hard work and cut us in, then we'll think about it as long as there's no ruggy behavior. But you know, I don't want to do. It feels shady to do a collection because you know all the only utility we can do is access to us, and you know that's not worth
Yeah, I
anything.
think the thing I liked
We're
about
idiots.
Good Vibes is that their background and their connections could lead to some fun stuff on top of just the utility is the community is the utility, which I don't. That's not enough. Um, yeah, I feel like there's enough in room for partnerships and things. If we just released the popes, it would just be for fun and not. We'd be very clear about, guys, this
Hmm.
is never going to have any value. We might like,
Well, we couldn't charge for it then. We'd have to do a
yeah,
free mint.
that,
I think that's probably a. And then if people find value in
I would be
it,
comfortable with
then
that. Yeah, and as long as on the
that's on them.
website it
That's
says
sweet.
this has no value,
That would be
don't
a fun.
expect any return from either of us. Maybe when I come to the UK, if you're around, don't travel to us for God's sakes. But if you're around for in your neighborhood and you want to come get a beer with us or some breakfast, great. But we're not paying for your breakfast. You can just come have breakfast with us. Is that's what I would want people to know about the Pope's collection.
Oh, super. I think we
This
did
was the
it. I
best
think we
one yet, I
nailed this
think.
one. Top class. I loved it. Oh, and we're coming up to exactly 40 minutes, so I'm going to hit it just as it goes there. 2, 1, boom.